we have the use of hexadecimal in this manner that you can see. A computer can only work with binary data, and these are your that you can. By the way, if I talk about this one or this one, which one is easily understandable? Which one is going to be by the humans? The binary number or the
D
hex?
D2AF, the hexa one.
So same goes here. What is easier for the computer is definitely binary, but for the to be understood by the humans, what is better? It's going to be the use of my hex value. These are the four basic uses, and these come in the paper: error codes, MAC addresses, IPv6 addresses, and HTML color codes. These are the four applications that are mentioned here. Now, as far as error codes are concerned, you must be knowing that error codes mean that any problem that is encountered by the computer, so it will be communicating to me. And that is shown in this manner. That will be easiest for a computer to comprehend if the value is entered in this manner. So error codes are often shown as hex values. These numbers are the memory locations of the error and are usually automatically generated. Remember that these error codes, we don't, they are automatically generated. और उसमें हमें interpret, like for example you can just see it a little bit maybe on your screens, that you can see, like for example success. If your computer is able to accomplish some task, so that is success. If there's an incorrect function, if the system cannot find the path, if the handle is invalid, so there are a lot of X values that you can see. But one thing that is common, by the way, can you observe something common throughout? Like all the error codes, is there anything that is that seems to be a repetitive value? Yes.
Miss okay, नजर नहीं आ रहा.
Just,
नजर नहीं आ रहा है.
just see it.
आपने बहुत zoom in किया.
Exactly. I have actually zoomed it a lot, but otherwise you can see it in your book as well. Yes.
It's एक number.
Just observe.
It's एक number pattern.
Miss 0 RS, it's multiplying with 0.
It's actually 0x. So
0x.
is something that you can see. It's not multiply beta, it's 0x. And this 0x indicates x. So this is what we actually talk about. Okay, we can see that the problem is shown in this manner and we need to interpret this. जब हम practice कर रहे होते हैं,
Miss 0x shows
0x is actually hex value. So wherever you encounter 0x written, it means that computer, whatever value is written after it, it's not 1 or 0 or 2 or 3, 4 of the denary number. It's the value that is basically a hex value. Again, you can see 0xe, 0xc. So this is how the computer is going to tell you the problem that it is facing, and this is how it is going to be interpreted.
so 0x is a
Hex value.
0x is a hex error.
नहीं, ये एरर जो हेक्स की डिनोशन हेक्स की वैल्यू में डिनोट किया जा रहा है, तो जो डिनोट किया जा रहा है वो हेक्स वैल्यू के साथ डिनोट किया जाता है. So are you clear with this? Yes.
Yes, miss.
Can you move ahead?
Yes, miss.
Now, you don't have to learn these codes at all. Remember that sometimes the students think कि हमें ये codes याद करने, but they are simply telling you that whenever you encounter something like this, it means it is an error code written in a hexadecimal notation. So may I move ahead? Okay. May I move ahead? समझ आ गई है?
Yes.
अच्छा, अब आते हैं हम थोड़ा सा और आगे की तरफ. Media access control. By the way, how many of you are aware of this term? MAC address. कभी नाम सुना है आप लोगों ने?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Where is it?
Miss IP address.
IP address, MAC address, these two terms are heard quite often nowadays, but MAC address होता क्या है? Like, let me tell you truthfully, if you open your mobile settings, you will encounter the same MAC address and IP address written on your mobile phone as well. So MAC
मिस
address,
आपकी लोकेशन होती है शायद.
exactly. आपकी location नहीं होती है, आपके MAC address is the address that is given to your mobile phone or to your device. And here, if I say MAC address, I mean NIC. एक term है NIC, Network Interface Card. And this refers to a number which is going to identify a device on the internet. Like this device address remains same throughout, and the MAC address refers to the network interface card, which is a part of the device. And this is never changed, but rarely changed. Very few are the situations where we need to change the MAC address. Otherwise, it remains same throughout. And this is how it is written. You can see NN, 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 DD, 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 and this is your 48 bits. By the way, if you just pay attention, 48 bits. How many bytes? Quick.
Yes. What? 8.
See, 48 bits means 8. I'm talking about this.
No.
G. Quick response I want from everyone, please.
6.
48 bits, what exactly? And this one we can see here कि आपके पास total 6 values है. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. So every single byte means 8 bits, and if I just talk about total 6 bytes means 48 bits, or in some scenarios it is coming as for 64 bits as well. 64 bits का क्या मतलब हुआ? How many bytes?
Miss 7. 8. 8.
So simple. It's so simple. You will simply divide. जिस तरह हम multiply करके value बढ़ाते हैं, वहाँ पे हम divide करके value को कम करेंगे. Like if I ask you, convert 48 bits to its equivalent bytes. So which process will you do? Division or multiplication?
Miss, convert the.
अगर मैं आपसे कहती हूँ कि now convert 48 bits to its equivalent bytes, what will you do now?
Multiply by, convert, divide by 8.
Exactly, you will divide it by 8, and this is what is actually something that you need to know, and this is very simple. तो इसमें मुश्किल नहीं है, बहुत आसान सी चीज है. आपको सिर्फ समझना क्या है, आपको सिर्फ ये समझना है कि आपने what you need to do whenever you are. अच्छा, let me just do a small activity. Let's see how that will help you a bit. Now if I just say I'm asking you कि something is of maybe 10 bytes. How many bits are there? What will you do?
Divide by 8.
10 into 8.
Will you multiply or will you divide?
Divide, miss.
Divide.
You will have 1.25 bits.
Yes, exactly. Correct, OS. OS is answering correctly. But if I'm asking you to convert bytes to bits, you will be multiplying because you are moving from bytes to bits. And remember, whenever you are moving from bytes to bits, because of the reason, it's so simple. How many bits are there in a byte?
8.
Yes. So this is why one byte has 8 bits. One byte has 8 bits. So you will be actually for. Will you multiply? Definitely you will multiply. You will say 10 multiply by 8 will be 80. And that is why it will be 80 bits. But if on the contrary, if I say I am asking you to convert 48 bits to its equal number of bytes, so what will you do?
Divide by 8.
Exactly. You will.
Yes, then we divide by 8.
So remember, whenever you are moving from bytes to bits, you multiply. Whenever you are moving from bits to bytes, you divide. Here, 48 bits will be divided by 8, and you will get the value of, yes, correct. I hope that you all can understand, no problem faced by anyone, because we sometimes get questions like this as well in our paper. Now, children, we'll be rejoining after the 10 minutes time is over. So everyone will have to rejoin. Now, moving on to this one, you can see this is how we are going to represent the MAC address. What will be the 3 points that you will write? The number identifies a device on the network. The second point, the second mark is going to be
Miss, which question is it?
define MAC address, a 3-mark question, and this comes in the paper.
Miss, define.
Yes, this comes in the paper. A 3-mark question comes. Sometimes we are asked to write the differences and the similarities as well. I'll actually do all the questions that come in the paper.